So welcome to another Social Jack Flash class, LinkedIn 5 steps to increase qualified referrals. Connect, engage, and convert. Now, as you know, I'm always up late the night before, typing in, putting things in, and sort of driving to make sure that I help support each and every one of you generate more business out of LinkedIn. It's a passion of mine, and just thoroughly enjoy it. And it is definitely my passion to help continue to coach and train those of you that want to know more. So I appreciate you being live with us. And we do have a lot of people that register for the recording, but the prizes only go to the people that are live and the people that are engaging. So shout out to Rob and Sam and also Roger, who are already chiming in and putting in a ton of things into the chat here. So we definitely see you. My name is Dean Delisle. For those of you that don't know me, founder and CEO of Forward Progress, our 15th year, and also the creator of Social Jack, which actually has been around for quite some time. I just put that in the book and I don't remember, but it's been around for a while. We have now trained and coached. We're approaching 125,000 people globally, and that's the exciting part. We're on with Asia and Jackson. I think we had classes in India this week and just all over the world. And it's just a blessing to see that we're all coming together through technology, and we have the opportunity to literally just rock and roll and connect with one another. And my buddy Wayne from Milwaukee is on, and he's asking me if I know who's the first place of the Central Division because Milwaukee just took over the Cubs spot. But I will see how long it lasts, Wayne. But I do love your stadium as a visiting stadium. So good call. All right, everybody. Well, listen, those of you that are around know that Amanda, good to see you as well. The whole thing about influencer development and social selling, we're going to dig into this a little bit, and we have a short amount of time together, so we're going to get cooking. Remember, we were on Zoom today, so you can type into the chat, or you can ask a question. So as you ask a question, you just basically type in, and you can type in the chat or the Q&A, and Jackson will make sure I see all these good things. All right, so those of you that haven't gotten it, I have the new book out called First, because we all want to be first in our network. We want to be first known, first found, first, the one that people think of first. And this is called The Street Guide to Digital Business Influence. So it's my first hardback book, and I have Wayne on with us, who's got a few out there as well. Wayne Breitbarth, who has a couple of good LinkedIn books. And in this, we dig into the steps of step by step how to build your digital business influence. And it has some revealing things about myself that I have just put into this book, and it was very vulnerable and exciting all at the same time. So anyway, those of you that know me know I grew up on the streets, sort of in a lower middle class area, and worked my way up to get into the boardroom. So I talk about that in the book, and talk about that as part of that, how that's built to who I am today and what we're doing here today, which is extremely fun. Now, social selling, right, is the process. Now think about this. It's the process of developing relationships. We've been doing that our whole life, right? As part of the social sales process, though, they've now added technology. So back early in the day, I hate to say back in the day because it makes me feel way too old, but back early in the day, we had CRM, and I don't know how many people actually remember when text messaging and pagers had first come out, even fax machines, and then the original email was in DOS. So I'm going to challenge those of you out there. Do any of you remember what I just said, or does it sound like we're in science fiction here? So I've got a few people joining me in there. No, we're not old. We're just, we're experienced, Sam. That's what I like to say. Um, but really, what we're bottom lining here is the fact that I want to emphasize, because there's a lot of marketing going on in LinkedIn and a lot of now spamming and all kinds of things. But we're really focused on playing a little bit in a smaller venue and environment and developing relationships. So I do a ton of networking events. I love networking events. I love connecting and shaking hands and even business hugging people and really connecting with people. But the idea is I get to see face to face, eyeballs to eyeballs, and really have a good conversation with folks and build relationships. Well, with LinkedIn and social media, it's taken some of the place of that, but we don't want it to replace the human to human aspect of this. So really, when we think about LinkedIn, I just want to see where people stand. So I'm going to launch a poll here and just see, how often do you log into LinkedIn? So I'm going to launch this quick poll. It's up on the screen. Some people have daily. We've got a few times a week. And okay, I can't see who's voting where, so this is anonymous. Click on what's real. Don't forget, we can see you. Have time to watch that. Okay, so most of you are a few times a week or daily, so good. So we're going to go ahead and end this, and I'll just show you who we have with us today. We have 67% daily, 33% a few times a week. So thank you for participating in that. Now, as we look at sort of where we're at, let's think about, why do we do it? Well, most of us, one of the core human needs that I talk about in my book is connecting. Well, really tactically, from a professional and a career and a business perspective, it's been about reputation. Those of you that know me from way back, early days, know that I owned myreputation.com, and that was launched all over the media. And then we quickly sold that early on. And that was providing visibility and protection and reputation and many of the things that we do today with content. I came out of Merrill Lynch. I was always in accounting, working with banks and things like that. And so I was always conscious of being compliant, right? Doesn't mean, necessarily obeying the rules of the government. It means that whatever institution that you're in or involved with, we want to make sure that people are compliant friendly. And we even get to the levels of teaching and coaching people about privacy. You might have saw my special on NBC News a few weeks back, where I talked about the protection and privacy of our younger influencers out there, but it really affects all of us, about making sure that we're conscious about when we're posting and putting information online, especially personal information, that we're protected. We're going to have a different flash class on this, but I just want you to understand all the things that we do help you do this, plus generate referrals and new business. Now, are you a business influencer? Well, of course you are, right? I asked this question, and on average, I was just teaching a big class overseas yesterday, and 50% of the people are like, nope, 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 nope. I'm not an influencer. We're all influencers, folks. You just have to decide to own it, right? So in the book, first, I talk about being an influencer, owning your influence, and then really making sure that the world knows that you are really a force for good out there and a thought leader, right? So everybody that's a business influencer right now, type in yes into the chat, please. I just want to know that you're with me and that you're owning it. Yes, Amanda, Roger, Brett, Gail, everybody. Gail, good to see you on with us. I missed you in the beginning there. Daniel, Nancy, good to see you. Awesome to see you. So yes, all my influencers are here, and you give advice every day. If you're not sure, check your outbox. Check your outbox. You are giving advice all day long. Now, social media is nothing more than an event. You've heard me say this a million times. When you log into LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, doesn't matter. Is MySpace still around? I don't know. But even if you log in there, you log into YouTube, it's a social gathering. There's people, there's profiles, and so it is an event, people, and people want to connect and meet other people. You just have choices that are different. So it's super cool. And the nice thing is, we have so much evidence that this stuff is working that we don't need to be convinced anymore. Okay, so we know it's the right thing to do. We just need better ways to do it. And that's why we are here together. So, how many contacts do you have that you cannot see? Well, literally, we have 3 degrees of separation. And people say it used to be 6, but really because of technology, it's enabled that, right? So, you've seen this graph before. And if not, we've always been here with the fact that if I meet Amanda and Amanda introduces me to Bernie and Bernie introduces me to Brett, I am deep into that network. Okay, I am into that network. Now, when we start looking at this, I begin with the visibility of technology and the visibility of social media. I now can be visible in other people's network without direct conversation with the people that I'm immediately connected to. So it's like being in an event and all of a sudden having a big sign on your head and people walking across the venue just to be with you to have a common conversation with things that they see in common. So think about how cool that is. Now, these are the old numbers and Wayne, I don't know your position on this, but I calculate, we calculate, our team calculates really sort of the conservative version of this social reach. With 387 connections, we have 6.4 million connected professionals. I like to be a little more conservative in this. I like to use a calculation of every time that I add a good connection. On average, it's a simple math of saying I have 8,000 viable connections by a couple of degrees. It's not a perfect science, but it's actually been calculated. We've done this thousands of times with clients and math. And on average, because we have common connections and we have invalid connections and good connections, it's roughly 8,000. So Amanda, we meet each other, we shake hands, all of a sudden, we have 8,000 mutual new connections once we decide to connect, engage, and be in a relationship. And really what we're trying to do here is to stop the roulette. Now, since the beginning of LinkedIn, Wayne, I had to go back in the archives to get some of these screenshots. Do you remember these? So, so I went back in and I looked, and I was looking back like, oh man, I think this is 6 years ago. I got some old screenshots and I'm like, I want to really show that people have been clicking around and getting nothing for quite some time. And our whole methodology is about 20 minutes a day. So those of you that have taken our classes, our social selling workshop, have seen this grid, and not only this grid, but the secret sauce grid where we give you timing mechanisms. So how many people in here have trained in any yeah, Wayne says we should start a museum of old screenshots, right? I think that'd be fun. But how many people have trained for a sport in here, especially one that has timing? So it could, it could be anything, right? So if you think about that, the simplest ones could be running, it could be, there's swimming, there's all kinds of, well, so we do the same thing. And in our whole training, we look at different things. We're going to cover some of these things where we're like, boom, time yourself, make sure. And the goal here is not necessarily to do the what we call Jacktivity, but it's to make the power move to get the results. We want more appointments, we want more referrals, and doggone it, we want to close more business, right? So I'm not going to teach you all this today because hopefully you take some of our classes that are coming up. But the idea here is that you have an ROI on your time. And those of you that want the social selling ROI worksheet, you just go to socialjack.com, click on the member login, and we don't require you to log in today, and you'll get to have access to some of these free documents. So just go there, write it down. Don't go there now. Social selling, it'll be there open till Friday. Just go to member login. If you don't have a member login or you forget about it, just scroll down when you go to member login, and you'll see all this cool free stuff down below. So just go there, and hopefully you become a member with us, because membership does have its privileges, of course. Now, we know that you all have good, perfect profiles, right? They're all done. We're not talking about profiles today, but if you're about to do the power moves that I'm going to show you, and you have not worked on your professional brand and your profile, stop right now, book time with yourself to look at your profile. The simple thing is, what will you do for others? Why and how? And what do you want? What do you need? Think the simplicity in this is your summary, is your profile telling the world how you will help them. Why and how, right? What's the evidence? And what do you want? What do you need? If your profile is not doing this right now and it's not current, get it current and book an appointment with yourself. Okay? Everybody agree? Give me a yes, because you know what? Your profile's never done. Roger Isley, just put that in here. Constant improvement. We call it CANI, constant and never-ending improvement. That's borrowed from Anthony Robbins or Tony Robbins, by the way. Nice, nice. Okay, everybody's doing this. I'm working on mine. The book's out, and I've got to tweak my profile every week until I dial it in. It's a constant effort, but it's for you. And don't forget, this is not just about LinkedIn. Google yourself and look at where you have other profiles. Make it consistent. Okay, enough about that because I don't have time to talk about the whole profile thing. And between Wayne and myself, I think we have the world of building the ultimate profile knocked into the universe. I'm sure there's aliens that have good profiles right now, as many classes as we've taught on this. Okay, so let's talk about the simplicity. Okay, I have 2 minutes. See in the bottom down there, that's not how long we're going to talk about this, but it's how long it should take you. Every day when you log in, I'm going to switch to a quick screen here. If I go on here, I love when you get a page not found. So now all of a sudden you get into your LinkedIn. You'll see this up on your screen, or hopefully you see my LinkedIn on the screen. And when you log in to your LinkedIn, what's interesting is that you're at an event, right? And so you'll notice there's new posts here, and I can see who's doing what, and I get caught in. There's Kate, you know, from our office. Hey, Kate, how you doing? So I can decide who I'm going to talk to. Right? You can decide who you're going to talk to. And if you don't like what's in your news feed, congratulations, these are your people. These are the people you've selected. Other than the sponsored posts, these are people you've selected. So what we want you to do is to really pay attention, time yourself, and really go for an engaging conversation with the intent to convert. So if I'm going to call here, and if I'm here and I'm talking with Carrie, and my goal is to make sure that Carrie and I connect, I can either consciously go in here and engage with this content, and it'll be noisy because there's 5,432 people putting their emotions all over it and 168 comments. It's a little too busy for me. But my consciousness is telling me within a couple of minutes, I'm just going to go and get myself an appointment by messaging Carrie and going, Carrie, I would like to talk to you. And when you log into Social Jack, there's example messages in here. But basically, if you want to talk to somebody, don't give them 2-3 paragraphs of what you want to say. Just talk to them. Say, Carrie, it's been too long since we spoke, or you know what, we've been connected and we like a lot of the same stuff. You mind jumping on a call or a Zoom call with me? So see how that is, and look at, I think I explained that in 2 minutes. But I want you to consciously be in your news feed with the intent for outcome. So does everybody get the message in this, right? So we call this, I like to call it UN because I like the game Uno. And I like things that are small numbers and quick steps. But homepage scan is literally ultimate networking event, and you can do it in 2 minutes. You can find the ideal people, and you can really engage, connect, and convert that fast. Did everybody get what I just did? So I'm going to keep moving, and this is a flash class, and we go fast in these things. Good. Thank you, everybody. Roger, you have a double yes, back-to-back yeses. I think that's an automatic prize winner in there. And Rob gave me a jaw. That's martial arts, you know. Okay, number 3. I'm giving you some extra steps in here. There's my buddy Tony P. Network diving level 1. What does that mean? Well, network diving level 1 means that I'm going to go visit a friend. We'll just type Tony P in here since he just happened to make that slide cut. And Tony P is connected to a ton of people. But as I look at his connections, you'll see as his connections open, it says C, 500 plus connections. I'm literally going to dive into his network with the intent that I'm talking to Tony this afternoon and I want to I want to get some referrals. I want them in Chicago. I want them all connected to Tony P. And let's say I want to have a conversation with people at Salesforce. Goodness, ooh, he doesn't have Salesforce people. Well, let's just try Aon. Does he have any friends that looked in? Come on, now it's wanting me to go back. See, sometimes you just push LinkedIn to the limits. Let's try this again. Tony, 500 connections. Location, Chicago. And there we go, 84 people in Chicago. And what I might do is go to filters and I might say, I want people that are in financial services, or I might want people in technology, and I would whittle those down. But really what we're doing here is we're spending a good 5 to 10 minutes. We're slowing down. Even though this is a flash class, I'm going to slow down for a minute. I want to really find 2 to 3 good people. And you'll notice that we have a lot of people in common, but I really am looking for just the second degree connections connected to Tony so that I can meet new people. And I'm going to look in here and I'm going to find myself 2 to 3 good people. And all I have to do is text Tony or to really connect to Tony and really say, Tony, can I talk to Andrew? Do you know him? I would really love to do some programs inside the Boy Scouts of America, or the CEO at the GARMS Group. Could you introduce me to Dan? And I begin to now go to that next level of really asking specifically for a couple names out of his network. And now I really take it to that next level. So, so think about how easy what I said is. Now, you have to have a level of relationship. Without the relationship, you don't get it. You don't get it. You have to have a level of relationship. You're not going to learn that in this flash class, but I want you to see the power move of being intentional. I'm in Tony's network. I want people in Chicago, and I want 2 to 3 connections. I'm going to talk to Tony this afternoon, and I'm going to get him, okay? So I'm going to talk to you about the intention behind that. Now, here's the fun part. 3 minutes or less, right? This little activity is just conversations, right? So we call this really getting into a level of conversation of just with the intent to convert. And I talked about the power of 8,000. But when you now like or comment or share anything, you are engaging with your network with the intent to convert. So now that I go into LinkedIn and I'm in my news feed and I go in here and I see Drew is in here, Justin's in here, and I'd like to talk to Justin. Actually, I'm going to engage with what's going on here. I'm going to take time and read this of what's going on. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to like, comment, and then I'm going to connect and convert, right? Like, comment, connect, and convert. Now, I don't do it all in one fell swoop. I like to engage and I like to have a conversation, but let's limit ourselves to 2 volleys and out. 2 volleys and out. That means you're liking, you're going to comment, they're going to comment back, you comment again, and then you go for the call, you go for the FaceTime, you go for the coffee, you go for the Zoom. Does everybody get that? How easy that is? Perfect. And Wayne's telling us how clunky when that bombed out on there. I noticed they've been changing all that stuff. So yes, LinkedIn will forever change. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch. So when I talked about the thing with Tony P and getting the networks, we have something called scagging. I love scagging. I came up with this, I think, 5 years ago. But really what you're doing is you're scanning someone's network. You're connecting to that person and you're asking. But here's where many of you drop. When they go, I don't know Patrick, I don't know John, I don't know Chris, you give up on the process. Dean, I asked them, and so many people connected to so many people that they don't know anybody. That's not true. They don't know the specific people that you ask for, but they know people that are like those people. So if you know, if you're asking for somebody at Nationwide Insurance and you really want to do business with Nationwide Insurance, have an intelligent conversation about getting into Nationwide Insurance, because I guarantee you, if they have a couple of connections, they have a couple of connections that know connections at Nationwide Insurance. If you're trying to get to Allstate Insurance, or you're just trying to do business with insurance companies, be specific in the ask of why you want the person that they don't know, and then make that request. And your intent here is to get. Asking without getting is just asking. Does everybody get that? The simplicity of skagging. So who's going to go skagging today? You're going to find somebody that you have a good relationship with, that you trust in your network. You're going to scan their connections. You're going to scan their interactions. And I have so many cool other things I want to show you. You'll have to come to one of the classes, sorry. But scan, connect, ask, and get. So if you're going to skag today, just type in the word skag, S-C-A-G, just type it in. I want to know who's going to go for it today. I want you to report back. I want you to go on LinkedIn and you want to tell me, Dean, thanks for skagging. I got one. And really, you're going to book an appointment. It's easy. You know the person. You're going to ask for some connections. And Wayne's like, skag every day like a vitamin. You can skag twice a day, right? Right. So I want people to wonder what it is. Don't tell them what it is. Just go, Dean Delisle, thanks for skagging today. I'm on it. I'm going to be booking appointments today. It's so fun too, because you're like telling people in the office, what are you doing? I'm skagging. What? What is that? I can't tell you. It's a secret. I'll bug you forever. It's fun. All right. Now, oh my gosh, is that Wayne on the screen? So, Wayne, do you recognize yourself here? So, power move number 6, add other influencers. I learn from Wayne. Wayne learns from me. JD learns from me. We learn from each other. Mike O'Neill, who's probably the rebel of the group, learns from us. We learn from him. But you know what? These are people that I appreciate in the industry, people that I admire. And you need to connect up. And yes, even if you think there's competitors, there's enough business for everyone. Okay. And please, please, please take time. Take time to connect up to other influencers, and that makes you a true thought leader, and you're not operating from fear, right? Look, I said I was only giving you guys 5. I'm giving extra power moves. Don't forget to set the hook. Convert, 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 convert. If you need some ideas about that, go to socialjack.com, click member login, go in there and collect some free cool stuff. Just scroll down and you'll see what I mean. And there's a ton of good interviews in there. Now, Jackson is collecting winners because we have about 3 minutes left. Okay, so Jackson is collecting a couple of winners today of Starbucks gift cards, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do with those. But first, let's jump into a couple of other quick things. Do not forget to measure your results. Now, there's a bunch of different things, but Wayne, I don't know what you like, but rather than pay for anything, I still like the effect of the social selling index. And you just have to Google social selling index and you click on it and it'll give you a measurement. The one I want you to focus on, is build relationships. Now you can establish your personal brand and don't get hung up on the 67, the 1%, the 5%. Here's your numbers here. Establish the professional brand. Find the right people. Now you can see I have a variety of everything from college students, because I teach school. I have even high school students to CEOs to investors. So they're saying, when I do mine, you'll see mine is a little lower score than most, but those of you in a targeted environment, make sure that you're really focused on building a solid network. Those 8,000 will count so much more. Engage with insights and build relationships. This should be always to the far right. Okay, and Roger said he's at 25%. I'm so proud of you, Roger. Nice job. Okay, winners in a few minutes here. Let's keep going. I told you about socialjack.com. Click on the member login and you'll be able to rock and roll. Those of you, when you go to socialjack.com, I encourage you, I empower you to look at the packages. We have a 90 days to influence program. You come in, you leave, you come in, you leave, you come in, you leave. And what happens is when you come in, we interview you, we rock out your profile, we help you build your network, we build out thought leadership content. And heck, we even launch you with a press release into the world, all in 90 days. And we really start to build you up to that influencer that we know that you are. We do this for speakers and authors. We do this for top producers. We do this for professionals. We do this for executives. We do this for organizations that want to humanize the brand. We do this for people within the organization. So if you want any information on this, please, please, please let me know. Ooh, we have some winners here. I'll announce that in 2 minutes, Jackson. Thank you. Now, let's see if I can find, yes. All right. Our influencer, Social Jack influencer programs have been selling out like crazy. So I'm going to give everybody the opportunity here super quick just to be on a waiting list. There's no obligation. It just means we call you first. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, click. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to click. There we go. Okay. While I'm talking, I know that Wayne is a Milwaukee fan, but you know what? He likes to visit Wrigley Field once in a while. So as you're voting on this and you guys want to be on the waiting list, we're at 16 seconds. And then we're going to announce our 2 winners here. We have an event. I'm going to be with Wayne Messmer, and we're doing an MVP social selling event where you go in the morning, you take a class, we have lunch together. A couple people get to draw and go down on the field with Wayne as he sings the national anthem. And then we're going to spend the whole afternoon watching the Cubs beat the Mets. And see, Wayne, there is no conflict. They're playing the Mets. It's okay. All right. So with that being said, if you want to go to this and you want the $100 discount off the early bird, there's 4 tickets. Yes, Wayne Messmer, sorry. Yes, Wayne Messmer. Did I say that? No, the spelling's, yeah, no, it's M-E-S-S. Yeah, I've got it right. We've got the name right. Yes, it's Wayne Messmer. Yes, and Roger says beat the Mets. So go to mvpsocialselling.com, DDVIP. If you want to go to the game or you're interested, this thing will get you $100 off. And then you also get 90 days of coaching from Wayne and myself. Wayne is a top motivational speaker here in Chicago and really loves to kick butt. This is June 21st, starts at 8 a.m., and we're spending the whole day together, and we're going to watch the Cubs beat the Mets. If you want to go to that, basically, oh, Jackson's got the winners here too. Are you interested in the Wrigley Field event? Oh, they want me to ask this. Okay. Yes, save me a seat. And yes, I have to check my calendar. Cannot make this one, but count me in. Yeah, Sam, a lot of people didn't know he was a motivational speaker. He's an actor. He's a musician. He has a big band that's amazing. He has a play here in Chicago, and he owns a financial services company. So just when you think you're busy, think about being Wayne, okay? So there you go. All right, folks. And if you didn't have time to vote on this, that's all good. Okay, so I'm going to put the assignments up. Let's announce the winners. So here we are. So the winners for today, read your assignments up on the screen, and then we'll cover this just because we're at time, and I will take some more questions if needed. Our 2 winners for coffee. Now, before I announce the winners, I want each and every one of you to agree to take something that you learned today and pass it on to someone that you care about. Remember your influencers, your thought leaders. I want you to share, maybe it's skagging, maybe it's something else that you really resonated that is super easy to do. But please, 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 maybe it's my new book first. Who knows? Maybe you've already downloaded it, and now that it's out in the hardcover, maybe it's something you can share and read with your team. But I want you to promise that even if you don't win the Starbucks gift cards, that you're going to share with somebody and really be a thought leader. Remember, we teach this to college students. We teach this to high school students. You could teach it in your family. So does everybody agree to teach it to someone, something that you learned during this session to someone that you care about? Give me a yes. All right, thank you for all my thought leaders. All right, Jackson says our 2 winners for Starbucks gift cards, which will be emailed to you shortly. Rob Mendel and Amanda Kellogg. Congratulations. Now you have to actually teach the person when you take them to coffee, whatever it is you've learned in the process, right? Because if you teach, you're going to get better at it. So congratulations. Now, yes, Sam says congratulations to the winners, and Sam Martin the third wants to be invited for coffee somewhere, and we'll make sure you're invited, Sam. You're always invited here at the Civic Opera House down here. All right, so fix your profiles, make sure you look good. If you didn't, book appointment with yourself. Now, social selling means that you're going to be intentional, you're going to build relationships, have meaningful conversations, do your power moves. Don't forget to convert. I want to congratulate our winners. Do we have any other questions? Going once, going twice. Look at that. We're only 5 minutes over. I get yelled at all the time for this. But that's all right. I'm a rebel. I like getting yelled at. All right. Did everybody learn something new? Did everybody learn something new? Yes. All right, cool. Do not forget, if we're not connected, please connect to me. Ask me for referrals. Follow Social Jack. And don't forget about the Influence Factory. Hashtag Influence Factory is a great podcast. You can get it from anywhere that there's podcasts. And so make sure that you go to the Influence Factory. I should probably have a slide on that at some point. Forward Progress has more digital marketing. Social Jack is all about making you an influencer. So make sure you go to socialjack.com, check out all that cool content. The podcast episodes and YouTube videos and show notes are in there for you. However, if you want a podcast from iTunes, Spotify, all those other cool places, even though iTunes is going away, I have no idea where the heck we're going to get our iTunes from, but I guess they're going to tell us all that. And please connect to myself and follow me, and I'll forever be dedicated to helping you develop your influence. And I will see each and every one of you online going forward. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing day. And those of you that click stuff, we'll get back to you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Take care.